Hi guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to replicate UI designs. For this video I'll be replicating these two screens I have on my screen. So let's get started. First thing I will do is to add my frame. I'll click on frame 2 here and add a desktop frame. Here's my desktop frame. I'll bring this guy into the frame. My frame is bigger than the design, so what I will do is expand it. Now we have this white space that's left over here. What I will do is click on my frame, hold command and adjust it. That's one way. Second way is I can expand this guy's width. I can expand the width of this image. Why is it not clicking? Expand the width to have the same width with my frame and expand the frame downward this way. Right, either way it works. So what I'll do, I'll stick with reducing the desktop width here. Now our desktop frame and the image have the same size. Right, now first thing I want to do now is to have the size of this shape, this inside shape. What I will do is grab my frame tool and draw a frame. See this size. I'll give it white color, or let's say this gray color, and I'll try to resize that frame just like this. And let me check it, please. Now the next thing for me to do here is to add corner radius. I'll come to appearance and increase the corner radius. See, it matches what's there. Let me see. So currently, let me just use 60 for this corner radius. I'm using 60. Now if I move this frame out of, so this is the same thing as this big white shape here. Next thing I will do is I'll move this gray frame, I'll move it down, I'll move it behind the image. So what I'll just press left open brackets. So I've moved that to the bottom. This is it here at the bottom. This is the image. If you click on the image and drag it, you will see your frame underneath. The next thing I want to do now here is to draw another frame that will house this picture here. I'll do that. I'll press this way. This way. I'll move this one this way. All right. Let me give this one a red. Let me just give it a color. Now you might not be able to see the frame. This is more like a pale red. You might not see because the frame, this second frame we draw, this frame 2 is inside that frame 1, which is, if I move this image, you will see it inside this frame 1. So what you want to do is move it from inside the frame 1, just move it above the image so you can see it. And the next thing I want to do is add corner radius to this guy here. So the corner radius, let's use 50. We can keep it as 50. Let's move this one to this side. Can keep the corner radius at 50, and probably I don't want to use this. Let me just use a blue, dark blue color, something around this here. Now if I move my image away, so we have this big this bigger frame, we have this other frame. All right, I'll Ctrl Z and bring my image back. The next thing I want to do is recreate everything that is here. So the first thing I will do is type this in my create an account. Come here, create. I'll be using a font called Marrow. This Marrow font, that's what I'll be doing. And I'll change the font color to black. I don't always recommend using what's it called, using total black, so I'll just use color, or let me just pick this black here. All right, Now see, if I move my text inside this frame, what it does is it automatically moves it inside this frame 1, which I don't want at this point in time. So what I will do is move it out, and this frame 1, what I will do is to lock it. So once I lock it, anything I drag over it will not enter. So once I'm done with what I'm doing, then I can bring everything inside frame 1. But for now I don't want anything to enter that frame 1, right? So I'll move this one outside of this desktop 1 frame. I'll bring my image back. I'll move it below this frame here. My create account, I'll bring it back. I want my create account to be the same size with this create account. So what I will do is try to increase the font size. So let's see how 48 looks. Maybe I can change this to medium, and you can see if it's kind of aligning the way I want it here. So sometimes it might not be 100% perfect, but I mean, you get something that is close. So I might leave it like this. The next thing is to already have an account login. I will type that one as well. Already. I'll reduce the font as well. So I'll move this over this and see if it's aligned. Maybe I'll make this 12. Okay, 13 is fine. So what I will do is this login, I want to make it bold. Select bold, and I would underline it. Give it an underline, similar to what we have there. And this one, I'll probably use regular. I'll move it here. All right. So if I move my image away, if I select this image and move it, this is what we have. This gray frame is supposed to be white, but we are coming back to that. But let's just keep moving. The next thing we want to do is to design this our input field. The first thing I'll do is to work on this title, first name. Maybe I'll make this 14, but let's see if 14 is the size. Let's increase it to 15. Yeah, we can use 15. Then the next thing is to draw this field. So what I will do is to use frame tool. I'll select frame tool and draw a frame like this. Make sure it's touching the edge. All right, now this is our frame. Let me give it a white color, a white frame. But now we can't see what's under. Maybe for now I will just turn off the visibility of that white color from here, and I will give it a stroke, not maybe somewhere around this color here, maybe somewhere around here, and I will increase the corner radius. All right, now we have this text inside. What I will do is just bring this one and drag it inside the frame. Let me type John. All right, so I think I'll move this John here to see if it works. Currently this 15 is bigger than what's there. We can reduce it to 13, which is fine. Good. So now we have this and this. What I will do next is to put this one and this frame. Don't forget the John is inside this frame, this text field frame. This John is inside it. So I'll select my first name and this my text field and put it in an auto layout. That's Shift A. Now what I will do is duplicate this field to create this one. What I will do is just click on Alt, drag to create this one. All I will just do here is change this one to last name. And here instead of John we have last name. Right. Now you will see that let me move this away a bit so you can see proper. Okay, for these ones the color of the outline is a light version gray, and even the text inside is light. It's not as dark as this John. Do you get? So that's what I will do. I will change the stroke color for this one to something light. Oh, sorry. This is the stroke. I will change it to something light. Maybe something around this. And also the last name, I'll change this to something light, just like this. Yeah. The next thing is to work on this email address. What I will do, I will just copy this one. I will copy this feed, put it here, drag it here. This for last name, I will change it to email address. Email address, just like this. And I'll change this last name to email address as well. Now this frame is supposed to be longer, so I'll just click on the frame and expand to guess here. The same thing, I will double click. Okay, so the frame size, I'll just move this. So the same thing for this guy, I'll double click this one. I will hold Alt rather to replicate what's here. I'll just move it so that it aligns properly. I'll change this one to password. And change the text here to password. All right. The next thing I want to do is this icon guy that is here. Where do I get my icon from? I'll click on this main menu icon here. I'll go to plugin. I'll go to manage plugin. I'll search for something called Iconify. So this is Iconify. I'll click on it. It's loading. Someone that is up. I need this icon too. So I'll look for this one first. I'll click on let's say left arrow. Click enter. I'll look for something similar that I can use. Maybe this is similar. I'll just click on it, drag it inside here. So here's my icon. I'll just move it here. Right. Then the next way, this one is hide. Let's type hide if it's going to show. All right. So we have some. This is very similar. So just hold and drag this inside here. Move it here. Just like this. Good. Now the next thing I want to create is this button here, create account. There are ways this can be done using auto layout, but for this practice, let's use a frame. So I'll click my frame tool. Let's close. Okay, before we close this guy, let me go back to select. Before we close this guy, there's one icon left. Let's say this checkbox. So let's checkbox. Can use this one for example, so I'll just click and drag it here. So let's just skip this guy here till we need it. I think we need Google and Facebook logo. Let's see if you can get that here as well. Okay, we can use this Google logo here. Let's keep this one here also pending the time we need it. And the last one we are looking for is Facebook. So we can use this one. We are done with that, then we can close our Iconify. Now the next thing we are doing here is to create this button here. I'll click on my frame. I'll draw a frame just like this. right. I'll increase the corner radius as well, and this button is black, so I'll select fill and give it black. And now next thing for me to do is to type. What I can do now here is to reduce the appearance opacity of this guy so I can see the text inside. I'll click on my text tool and write create account. I'll make my button maybe semi-bold kind of, and change this one to white, and I'll move the text inside the frame I just created. Now I want to make sure they are the same, so I can reduce the font size to 14, put it here and see if it works. Okay, I think I like it. Okay here. Now remember, we reduce the opacity of this frame to 30. Let's bring it back to 100. So now this is what we have. The next thing we are doing is to write this guy. Now we are going to type I agree to the terms and condition. Alright, the terms and condition here is bold. I would like to change the font to regular, and the terms and condition will be bold. Right, and it's going to be underlined just like this. I'll bring it here. See, the font is currently bigger than was there, so I'll reduce it to 13. That's fine. And also this guy currently is smaller than was there. I'll just scale it up a bit. So to scale, I'll press K and I'll drag from this end, or let me just use 20 for example. 20 is fine. I'll just put it here. Good. One thing I would love to do is to put these two guys in an auto layout. So I'll select this one, Shift A. Also, another thing I want to do is to put this one and this one in an auto layout. So I'll select this one and this one and put them in an auto layout. Alright. I'll do the same thing for this one and this one too. I'll select this one and this one, put them in an auto layout. Then select these three and put them in an auto layout. Then select this one and this one too and put them in an auto layout. So this one and this one group together. These ones group together. This one and this one group together. The next thing I want to do here is to create these guys here. So let's start with Google. I'll put the Google image logo here. I'll scale it, press K and scale it. So let's assume we are scaling this to 24. Let me just use 24. Put it here. And then we are going to type continue with Google. I'll bring this on here. Maybe we'll reduce the fonts to 12. See if that works. Alright. And don't forget is this guy here. So we can make this a frame. So we can draw a frame. Let's move this to out first. Let's move it down here. Let's draw this frame. Alright. Let add stroke. Let add stroke. Can make this stroke line very thin. This stroke color very thin, I think. Increase this thing a bit. Then we will increase the corner radius. Let me increase the corner radius. What I will do is I'll select this one and this one, put them in an auto layout. Then I'll drag them inside this frame here. Next thing I want to do is duplicate what we have here for Facebook. I'll just hold out and drag here. So instead of Google here, I'll change this one to Facebook. Facebook. Right. And this logo, I want to use this one. Remember, we scale this one up to 24. Let's do the same thing here. Let's scale this one also to 24. Okay. 24. what I will do is I will cut this one, Command X or Control X, and I will click on this Google logo again, and I'll paste to replace. So now we have our continuum. Make sure it's at the center, just like this. All right, we are done. Okay, the last thing is this or. So type or R. Put it here. This should be about size 13 or thereabout. Yes. We use the faint color. I'll just use an eyedropper and maybe copy this one here, or maybe it's too light. I can make it a bit. Maybe this is fine. And then these faint lines we have on this side, and this side. So I'll come to my line. I'll grab line. Now draw my line from here to here. Say here. And I'll use the same color I'm using here. Let's just do that. What I will do is duplicate this line, but I think the line is a lot faint. I can increase it to say here, and I'll duplicate this line here. We are done. Now what I will do is remove this image away, move it outside. Now remember this our gray, what's it called now? Our gray frame, we logged it before, that's why we cannot select it. So we have to look for that gray. This frame 1, this is the frame 1. I will unlock it. Then I'll change the color, I'll select it, selected now. I'll change the fill from this to this, white. Now our original desktop, this desktop, I will change it from white, and I will give it, maybe I'll sample this color, maybe this one. All right. Next thing I want to do here is now put all of these guys into an auto layout. I'll first select these 3 and put them in an auto layout. This one and this one, auto layout. These 3, I'll put these 3 in an auto layout. Then I'll put these 3 to, I think I'll add this one. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just add this one, this group, this group, this group inside an auto layout, just like this. So now everything is, I can select this one and move it around. So they are all an auto layout, this image thing. So the next thing is to look for an image similar to this. I'll probably go to Google Chrome. I'll click plus and search for VR headset image. Let's see if we can get a very nice image. Yeah, maybe I want to use this one. So what I will do here is just right click on this image and say copy image. Then I go back to my frame, go back to my design and press Ctrl V. I'll paste it here. The next thing I'll do, I'll move it here. I want to move inside this frame too, and this is my image. I'll just move inside this frame to here. That's it. And I'll increase. But for some weird reasons, I'm not liking this image. Let me just look for another one. All right, we are done with this screen. All right, and if we look to some extent, what we have is similar. So guys, that's how you replicate a screen that you see or that you find anywhere. That's how you replicate it. So it's same. So now if I want to create this one, all I have to do is to duplicate this first one down here. This blue color, I'll probably change that one to something similar to this one. I'll look for another image. Let me go and see if I can get another image. Maybe this one. Let me see this one. I'll copy this image. Let me copy this one. Come here, paste. Everything's fine. What we are doing now is just replacing this with this, most likely the test. We change this create account to login. We change this one to don't have an account. Then this login, we change it to create an account. Now for this, the only thing we need is email and password. We don't need first name and last name, so what we are going to do is delete this guy. All right, and then we need forgot password here. What I will do, I will just copy this one and put it here. I'll delete this one, change this to forgot password. Now this forgot password is closer to this guys than what I would do. I'll just move it inside. Don't forget these two are in an auto layout together, so I'll cut this one and put it with these guys. All right, and I'll move it to this side. I'll make sure it comes to this left hand side here. Instead of create account here, we have this one to be login. Just at the center, and yeah, we are done. It's quite simple if you ask me. So next time when you are trying to replicate a design, please use this approach so that what you have is very close to what you are being told to redesign. And I think the one thing we forgot is making this field a field state, and the what's it called, the outline is kind of darker than this one. So what we are going to do is probably copy the color for this outline. It's 555. We copy that and replace it with the color of this outline for this email. Then this email address, let's put something there. We have john52martinez@gmail.com. I'm going to make it, the color is supposed to be dark. So guys, yeah, that's it basically. That's how you replicate design, and this is the level of I don't know what to call it now, level of excellence I required from you guys when you are replicating designs. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.